I'm watching Dark Shadows in Paris, in Manal and Tal's Belleville apartment, rain falling on the glass roof of their office as Liz and Tal collaborate on a paper for a post-colonialism conference, and Dr. Hoffman claims, like a soap opera Faustus, that medicine is about to break the barrier between life and death. Liz and I could have used a dose of Dr. Hoffman's medicine earlier this afternoon, looking for Apollinaire's grave at Père Lachaise, where each time I consulted our graveyard map, we found ourselves intruding on grieving families as we tried and failed to find the ici repose resting place of the famous surrealist, forgetting this was still a cemetery, a sacred place, an esteemed ancient maze of graves in Paris, where people mourn their loved ones, not a tourist walk in Hollywood. The two of us, lost and shambling among the mossy chestnut trees of Père Lachaise. We could feel them growing, bushes and branches upstarting beneath the tombs, with a map of grave plots, with a map of grave plots, not a guide to movie stars' homes, soggy from the downpour. If only we could have summoned Ghost Girl, who tells little David, the psychic child, "You know about leaves and everything, and, well, I know who's dead and who isn't." Another color videotape missing from ABC's archive. Episode 300, murky in monochromatic kinescope. Barnabas behind a flickering candelabra in full Nosferatu glare. Later, the vampire breaks eye contact with the camera like a penitent child. An expression that would have soothed my nightmares had he stooped to express such vulnerability. Dr. Hoffman threatens to stop the blood treatments that would cure his vampirism if Barnabas sneaks into Vicky's bedroom again and opens Josette's music box. Stalker alert. Burke proposes to Vicky and vows, "I'll ask you tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that, until you break down and say yes." Much emotional turbulence in Collinsport the night I returned from a weekend with Liz, David Trinidad, and Jeffrey Conway at Camp Chesterfield, the American spiritualist community founded in 1886, where numerologist Patricia Kennedy explained to us over lunch at Denny's. There's light, medium, and deep trances, honey, and you better watch out for deep, because it'll knock you out. One time I was in a deep trance during a seance, and when the lights came back on, I looked down and saw my teeth were on the floor. A woman who heard her father's voice coming out of me was skeptical because it didn't really sound like him, but the last 3 years of his life he didn't have teeth. So spirit knocked out my teeth as a way of saying, "Look, it's that guy talking." Later, after a story about apporting a bouquet of paranormal flowers out of nowhere into a seance, and repeated advice not to order Denny's seasoned fries, Patricia, who once said I try so hard to be an ethical person because in a past life I was a religious charlatan who bilked my disciples of all their money. I entered this body, she told me, solely to atone. Now warned I'm spending too much time in the spirit world, not enough in the physical. Well, what do you expect? I've been hanging around haunted Collinsport all summer with a vampire, a psychic child, and a ghost girl.